Good morning, class. I thought I would do a very quick tutorial about how to upload your Essay 1 peer review, part 1, that if you remember is due by 11:59 this Sunday. What I'm going to show you will be, true for part 2 that will be due next Sunday, because remember you have a part 1 and part 2. The only thing that I'm looking for right now is part 1, which is basically you typing up your 750 word or 3-page essay 1 rough draft and uploading it so the entire class will have a selection of drafts next week that they will be able to pick one, and based on the CARES method, which is the part 2 part of the assignment, you can answer those 5 questions by reading your classmates' rough draft. Read those drafts. You only really have to pick one of your classmates. If you want to do more than one and have time, that's fine. I'm just looking for you to pick one classmate's rough draft and answer those 5 questions, and then type them up and send them that feedback so it could help them with some constructive comments and suggestions for next week. So the only thing that you really have to worry about this week is getting your rough draft done. You can send me drafts of your rough drafts. I will read them. I will give you feedback. But again, for you to get credit, you still have to upload into Blackboard. Otherwise, if you can't upload or you don't upload, 1, you're going to be losing 50% of your grade. And 2, next week, you're going to be basically at a disadvantage because you don't have a draft uploaded that somebody can read. So you're going to be losing 50% of that grade as well. So basically, you're going to rack up 2 zeros in a span of 2 weeks if you don't go through this the right way. So I'm going to show you how to go about doing it the right way. It's really quick. It's really easy. And it should be, it should be something that as easy as, uploading an attachment. If you can send an attachment via email, then you can upload your rough draft here. So I'm going to share the screen and we're going to work through this real quickly. So this is what it shows, right? Week 1, scroll all the way down, it says part 1. So again, part 1 is what is due this Sunday, right? It's just your rough draft. We need a complete draft as possible, meaning 1 page is not going to be suffice, because next week one of your classmates is going to need to read your draft and answer the part 2 section, which involve these questions. So you need to try to get as close to 3 pages or 750 words by 11:59 this Sunday. So you click here where it says view and complete assessment. And then on your end, because I'm the instructor, so it's going to look a little bit different, you're going to have to click where it says question 1. So I'm going to have to go to the preview mode on my platform and hit submission, because that's basically what part 1 is doing. You're just submitting. You're not evaluating yet. That comes next week. So submission. So on your end, it's probably going to look more like this. And it gives you sort of the submission dates, basically from this past Sunday to this coming Sunday, 11:59, and then evaluation period starts this Sunday at midnight until the following Sunday, September 5th. Clearly, you probably want to try to get your feedback to your classmates prior to September 5th. I mean, obviously, if you want constructive feedback to see what you're doing wrong, you want to be able to go through these drafts or pick a draft, read it, and answer these questions so that your partner can have enough time before the due date, because the due date will be coming up during week 3, to be able to fix, revise, get Essay 1 ready for a final polish to receive a final grade. I do know I'm sure some folks are probably going to wait until September 5th to turn all that in. But again, you're really setting folks up for a disadvantage there. I would try to get things in a lot sooner than maybe September 5th. Same time is, you can send me in smart thinking drafts, but, really the more sets of eyes that look at your writing, the better the writing should be. So besides my set, smart thinking set, and your peers set, I mean, that's 3 different folks looking at your work, but you need to get this constructive feedback in a timely manner. Usually I try to get drafts back within a 24-hour period. I would suggest that you try to do that as well, maybe a 48-hour period, because the closer you wait to September 5th, because I believe the due date for SA1 is September 9th, I think. We had to double check. So if you wait till the 5th, you're only going to give your classmates the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. 4 days, which for most could be enough time, but if you got other classes and other things going on, especially after Labor Day or during the Labor Day weekend, you may not have that much time. So you want to make sure that you give feedback in a timely manner. Now, the problem with that is if there's only 1 or 2 people out of, a class of 25 that post constructive comments, maybe Monday or Tuesday next, and then we have a whole stretch of time and nobody else starts posting stuff until Thursday, Friday, or Saturday that week, again, it's going to be a rush. And you may start feeling the stress a little bit about that, especially if you want to get feedback on your own work to be able to improve your own grade. So this is where everybody has to sort of work as a team and get things done in a timely manner, and not sort of procrastinate until the very last minute when the deadline is really looming. So when you see this, you're just going to click on question 1. Now next week you would click on question 2 after you type up your answers to these questions as it relates to your peers' rough draft. So you're going to have to read somebody's 3-page paper, go through it, and based on your opinion, on your reading of that 3-page paper, you're going to have to answer these questions and send this back. This is sort of the feedback that you would send back to your partner. But for this week only, part 1, you click on the question. It's going to look like this. Now, there's a couple ways that you can go about doing this. The response, if you want to copy and paste, I guess that's one way. It could be kind of difficult for some to really read that. What I would suggest, because you're going to have to type up your final draft in a Microsoft Word document, is to either find the paperclip, and you can sort of have a little message and say, hey, I attached my file, check the file, whatever the case may be. You can click there, and then you can browse your course, or, well, really, this probably won't necessarily be the best thing, because on my end, it's just throwing this up. So I don't know if that's really going to be helpful on me, but it may be on you. You might be able to find that paperclip and be able to get into your hard drive of stuff. What I would probably suggest everybody do, especially if you're using Microsoft Word, is go where it says attach file, browse my computer, because you want to browse your computer. That's where you saved it. And then you want to, I'm just going to give you an example here. Double click on the file that you want to upload. It should show it here. If there's nothing here, then you didn't attach anything. So when you hit OK and it sends, you're only sending, well, you're sending nothing. So if whatever you attach, if we can't read it, download it, or if it's not there, then you're losing 50 points. So your grade comes from 100 to a 50. So really, you got sort of 3 grades here. You got a 0, you just don't do it, don't turn in, don't care, whatever the case may be, you get a 0. That would be your first 0, and that's going to be hard to come back from the next few weeks. The second grade you could get is a 50, where you don't upload the full 3 pages, you give me a half a page or a page, whatever the case may be. Or the third grade is, which everybody should get, because it should be really easy to crank out 3 pages, because we've had nearly Monday to Sunday to do this. The other grade would be the 100. Now next week, when everybody has, I hope, their drafts up here that we can sort of pick and choose from, you would go here. In this case, it's going to be the evaluation part 2. And then you would click on that particular question, just like we did, and then you would upload your answers to that. So that's really what you would have to do as it relates to here, question 2. Make sure you read, right? Read those drafts, or pick a draft and read it at least. Answer these questions based on that CARES method. And here, if you want, you could post your response here because there are only 5 questions. If you want to type them up and send it that way, if you think it'd be cleaner and easier to read, you can do that as well. But I mean, that for the nutshell, that's basically the 2 assignments. Part 1 this Sunday, part 2 by next Sunday, and then your essay 1 will be due the following week, which would be week 3, basically when we come back from Labor Day. The other thing is that you might want to keep in mind, I do put videos up here that sort of go along with what we're doing. Some of these videos dealt with the course syllabus. Some of them dealt with, essay 1 and talked a little bit about how to go about doing the peer review. I did send out something yesterday or the day before. It was more or less a written document about how to go about uploading your rough draft. But I've been receiving some messages from other students saying, hey, I still can't get this thing to work. What's going on? So I thought I'd just give you a brief video tutorial. I do have another video that talks about the grammar, right? The syntax section in your textbook that you were supposed to read for this week. It talks about appositives, run-ons, comma splices, fragments, parallelism, because we're going to have a grammar quiz coming up in about week 4. And so you want to sort of keep up with the grammar. At this point in 1101, we assume that kindergarten through 12th grade, hopefully those teachers sort of prepared you for the grammar. If not, this should be a review. Again, watch the video, read the sections in your textbook. I do give you some examples. I tell you which exercises to sort of focus on if you want a study guide for the quiz. But quiz 1 will cover basically 4 weeks of grammar. So anything that's in the book as it relates to some of the grammatical concepts that we're going to cover this week, next week, week 3, and week 4, that's all fair game. That's all going to be, you're going to be quizzed on, you're going to be tested on. So make sure that you look at some of those practice exercises. You don't have to do all of them. It's optional if you want. If you want a study guide, then use those practice exercises in your textbook to be your study guide. As you work through those, you can send me the page number and the question number if you want me to check to see if you're doing them right. Again, you don't necessarily have to sit there and, do 7 pages of grammar. You can kind of pick and choose which ones you think would be difficult if you, came across them in a quiz. So that's something that you can kind of do, especially if your grammar is not up to par, because really, good writing and good grammar sort of come hand in hand. You kind of need to have one to be able to achieve the other. And that's where, again, sending drafts to me, smart thinking, sending drafts, uploading them so your classmates can kind of look and pick and choose which ones to go over. That would be very helpful. The other thing is some students were, still wondering where the textbook and stuff was. Well, if you look over here, it says course textbook. If you click, it's going to take you to the textbook where the page numbers and everything are located. Now, if you go through the syllabus, I gave you 2 different ways to get to it. One is this way that will basically give you the page numbers. The other way is sort of a web-based book where it just gives you a table of contents and there's no page numbers. So that's going to be kind of hard really to navigate unless you just go back and forth from your syllabus and look at the title of what we're doing that week. Either way will get you to the same results. It's just if you're wanting page numbers, which is what I put in the syllabus, then I would go this way because it's already built into your actual course. If you look as well, week 2 is already opened up. If you click on week 2, you will already see stuff there. As you notice here, Essay 1 Peer Review Part 2 is the next big assignment due before September 5th. Again, that's where you read a classmate's rough draft of Essay 1 and you answer these 5 questions. So I hope that sort of cleared up how to go about submitting Part 1 of your rough draft. Again, week 1 will stay open until midnight this Sunday, and then it will shut down. So if you need to copy or print out this handout for Essay 1, then I would definitely do it before midnight this Sunday, because once this sort of closes down, you're never going to be able to retrieve it again. So please be mindful of that. Folders are usually open Sunday to Sunday. You do have an overlap of, from about Wednesday to Thursday for the next week. So you will have a couple more days if you wanted to get ahead for week 2, that type deal. But for the most part, each Sunday, one of the folders are going to, close down and disappear. So make sure that you get the information out that you need. A lot of this other stuff, like the writing process, syntax, I just gave additional websites. It's all in your book. So even if you don't necessarily print these or save these out, I still give you the page numbers up here, and this is what you are responsible as it relates to your weekly reading for week 1. So don't freak out. The only thing that's not going to be obviously in the textbook would be the assignment, Essay 1 information, and of course these videos will start to disappear too as this folder slowly closes down. So again, if you have any questions, please reach out and let me know as quickly as you know that you're having some issues, because again, I can do things a lot easier if I know them ahead of time than if you wait until 10 o'clock Sunday night. Oh, I'm freaking out. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to upload. Well, I mean, it's Thursday morning. I'm throwing this video out. I did put information via email a day or so ago, so that would be Tuesday or Wednesday. So if you check your email and definitely went on to your Blackboard course page, you would have been able to watch the video. So please, don't wait until the last minute if you know that you're going to have some issues with this. Otherwise, I hope everybody has a great weekend, a great Thursday, and I hope everybody has a wonderful week too. Until then, have a great day.